Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode on Boundary Line Podcast. Dillon Pink here, along with Sheldon Dougherty, and day two of the World Test Championship final there between India and Australia. Australia are well and truly ahead in this game. They've won day one, and they've got day two as well. And India are so far behind on this test. And as it goes, it's the same old story for India. The top order failing. All that and more we are going to be discussing. And Sheldon seems to be still in San Francisco, but that ain't
Yeah,
stopping him from doing this podcast. Sheldon, your
exactly.
thoughts on day two? India came back in the game there, but
Yeah,
you got to say the top order again let them down.
yeah. Dil, I want to start the positives though from India. Dil. I think we need to at least brighten up a bit. Not be so low on India. I felt as we discussed yesterday, Dil, the start was going to be important, and honestly, the first 6 overs were as bad as it could go for India because it was 34 for no loss in the first 6 overs. Head reached 150, Smith reached 100, and honestly, at that point, you probably thought, oh, 500 plus. But I thought the way India came back and bowled in that first session, that showed some character because to get Australia what they took 6 wickets for less than 120, if I'm not mistaken, as well,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
come back into the game. I thought India bowled brilliantly in that first session. I thought that was the first session they won in the game as well. Though. I thought that was a positive for India how they fought back early on today.
Yeah, they fought back well there with the ball. As you said, again, Travis had Steve Smith just continued from where they left off there, but they added almost 285 runs, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
285. That's a huge partnership there, and that almost sealed the deal for them there. But India came back there, Sheldon, and once they started to bat there, you thought the approach was good. Shubman Gill started playing a bit, a few shots there, but then again, that leave of his was just I don't know what he was trying to do, what was going on in his mind. Like, he was nowhere close. He didn't know where his off stump was basically, and then just left that. Those are just easy wickets, right, Sheldon? You can't afford to do
yeah.
that, especially in a crunch game like this. It's a final. You don't get a second chance to come back into the
Yeah.
test match there. And I gotta say that Pujara and Gill, I thought just gave away the wickets pretty easily, right?
Yeah, Dylan, both of them came pretty quick after each other as well. India got off to a reasonably good start, 30 for no loss they were at. At one point,
Mm,
Sharma looked good. Gill looked good the way they started. I thought Sharma was unlucky. That ball, it kept a bit low, I felt. By
yeah.
Cummins, it was a good ball. But yeah, Gill and Pujara, you're not helping yourselves. Leaving the ball, practically giving Australia wickets getting bowled like that. But yeah, Australia, fair play to them though. I thought they stuck to their lines very well. The way they bowled today, not many, bad deliveries as well. And I thought the way Australia bowled, like especially the new ball, was very good.
Yes, the new ball was good for them, Sheldon. And what about Virat Kohli there? You think that it's a bit
Yeah.
unlucky there? He was looking good, driving the ball around, looked set there, but just got a snorter of a ball there from Mitchell Stark, and good catch there by Steve Smith. He's always in the game,
Yeah.
Sheldon. How important was that partnership between Virat and Rahane? You thought that was going to be the game there, but once Virat got out, Sheldon, you knew that it was going to be very difficult. But in the end, I thought India managed well. They reached 151 for 5. What do you think now? You know where they stand. I think they'll be missing Rishabh Pant a lot
Yeah.
in this test match because that's a sort of innings Head played also, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think you mentioned a very good point there, Rishabh Pant, because we know the way he plays. He would have come and he would have attacked. Whether India are 50 for 4, 60 for 4, 80 for 4, whatever the score is, we know he comes and plays, and he would have attacked Australia. And maybe that is something they did need. I thought Jadeja and Rihane played really well. I really felt for Jadeja getting out right at the end as well. Because
Yeah.
you felt if he went to stumps with Rihane, it was a reasonably good comeback for India late in the day. That partnership was going well. But yeah, just for him to get out late in the day, I think Australia were pumped as well when they got that wicket as well. So yeah, just that end to the day, a good day for India though. I felt they came back into the game. They could have been way out of sight. It could have easily been 550, and it could have been a bigger lead as well. So I think yeah, some positives they got to take from that.
Yeah, Sheldon, they got to take it. But then in the end, I thought that last wicket, like you said, Nathan Lyon, they're
Yeah,
coming and picking it up. They're almost rubbing salt into the wounds there
yeah.
of, India for not picking Ashwin there. How important, Sheldon? I don't think so that Nathan Lyon would get that many wickets. I may be wrong.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, just maybe the day where he comes and wraps it up, but I don't think so because I think there's still enough of assistance there for the fast bowlers, right?
Yeah, Dylan, I think today actually showed more why I feel India made the right call because as you saw balls keeping low, the Stark ball as well, you saw how it helped the seamers as well. You feel there's more uneven
Hmm.
bounce
Yeah.
when the seamers were bowling as well. So it almost showed more why it was a good reason for India to play the extra seamer. Maybe the only difference is that Australia's seamers are a bit quicker, as we saw with Mitchell Stark. I mean, that ball, that was such a Mitchell Stark spell, Dil, because he
Yeah.
was quite crap for most of it. And then suddenly a ball out of nowhere comes and to get the big man as well, VK, and you could just see VK's face. He couldn't do anything about it. That was a real peach of a delivery, and maybe that was their moment of the day for Australia today.
I didn't know what to think of that ball because it came out
Yeah,
of nowhere there,
yeah.
got the glove and went straight to Steve Smith there in the slips there. But what would India have to do? Sheldon Rahane now over there batting with Bharat, and I don't know what can they do. They have to bat it out tomorrow. Do you think they're going to bat it out as long as Travis Head and Steve Smith did? I mean, from the looks of it, I don't think so because the Australian seamers are just on a roll. But Rahane again, the key wicket for them.
Yeah, for sure, Dil. I mean, Rihani as well, Dil, could have got out, that no ball by the barest of margins there with that no ball
Oh,
call as
barest
well.
of margins.
Yeah, what a big moment that could be. You don't know how much Rihani will make tomorrow, so that is key. At least he's still there. I feel him and Bharat are key now, though, because they have to get a partnership somehow. Somehow try to get the lead as low as possible because right now I think it's still above 300 as well, and that's a lot of runs on this pitch.
Yeah, absolutely, Sheldon. That's still a lot of runs that India are so far behind. And just looking at it now, 5 wickets down, 150 odd. They would have to bat out of their skins now to get
Yeah.
over that total, which is looking highly unlikely given the way the Australian seamers are doing there. But day two, Sheldon, I really felt India. They should have batted well.
Yeah.
I just felt the likes of Rohit and Gill. I was just expecting so much there, but
Yeah.
Rahane and Ravindra Jadeja, the two CSK guys, doing it again.
Of course. I mean, it was just poetic that it was those two, right, with the partnership again after the heroics in the IPL final as well. But yeah, it felt like CSK again, CSK rescuing themselves and rescuing India as well. But yeah, Rihani, how important is he? A few months back, he wasn't in the Indian team as well, right? And now he's back. And pretty much their hopes in this game rely on him now because probably you'd say he needs 100 to somehow get India back in the game, like realistically talking. And for KS Bharat, I just feel for him. This is his first overseas game, and it's a World Test Championship final against the Aussies at the Oval. I mean, here you go, KS, right? Make a name for yourself in the first game. And you feel there's extra pressure as well because he's replacing Rishabh Pant, who is arguably like India's batter of the World Test Championship cycle as well. Like he's just been so good for them in Test, over the last couple of years. So yeah, but good opportunity for Bharat and Rehane tomorrow. And I think the pitch isn't that difficult. I mean, once you get in, you should probably score. So I feel, yeah, India will have to probably try not to lose an early wicket tomorrow and then see how it goes.
They would certainly have to because Rahane has to really bat long here, play one of those
Yeah.
knocks that goes on and on and on. And,
Yeah.
in the end, take control of the game there.
Bro, one thing I want to ask you about as well that I noticed, that Smith and Labuschagne, how far outside their crease they bat, right, Dil? And like maybe it's because like Thakur and Yadav were not as quick, but in general, to all the bowlers, they kept doing that. Dil. Didn't you feel like that was a kind of plan with the Australian batsmen to bat that far out of their crease?
Yeah, absolutely, Sharon. That was one of the questions that I wanted to ask you, because Ricky Ponting there was explaining the importance of sometimes you have to be outside. Like the bowlers like Umesh Yadav and Shami were bowling really good there, to its tight lines, and just to be in line with the ball there and see where it is, so that helped them a lot there, I thought there. And yes, he was absolutely right there that Steve Smith and Manus Labuschagne, it helped them, and probably India, I don't know whether they were doing it. I think I seen Gill a bit there, Virat also a bit, but I don't know what was the plan for India. Probably, they like to stay inside, and not stand out. But yeah, it's interesting, Sheldon.
Yeah. Well, don't you feel also it's a bit tougher to come down the wicket when Stark's bowling at that pace, or like as we saw the Kohli ball, if you're down the wicket and you get a bouncer like that, you could easily get hit like that. So maybe is it a bit tougher doing that to the Australian bowlers? Maybe a bit quicker. Do you feel, or you think they could still do that?
I don't know actually, Sheldon, because you may be right actually. In the case of that ball that he got, VK, because
Yeah.
if he had to stand way out of, then yes, there was a chance that he could have got easily out again there. But so it is. Some batsmen like to stand outside, some batsmen don't like to. So I think it just depends. But I think it's not easy doing that. You really need to play like really well also, right?
Yeah. And I mean, also I know Manas did that well, but eventually he did get bowled playing like that outside his crease as well. Like where you felt like maybe if he stayed in his crease, he could have played it because it's reasonably straight ball he got out to. So it kind of felt like he didn't know where his off stump was. And of course, I mean, Steve Smith, I mean, another freak. We didn't talk about him today because we spoke about him yesterday, but another 100 in England, Dill. I mean, I'm sure a lot of English fans are having nightmares. I saw many people tweeting today, like, how do we get this guy out? Can someone give suggestions here? Because he's just a freak, Dill. I mean, like the way he bats, I mean, like he just can't get out. And he's just a freak. And his 31st 100, I think today, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, as well.
Yeah.
First, which is just insane, Dylan. Yeah, what a freak. I mean, nothing but respect for Steve Smith. He's just such a good batsman.
Sheldon, you're spot on there. England are already having nightmares. They
Yeah,
can see it. He's in the zone. He looks
yeah,
like he's set this summer. Is it going to be one of those
yeah,
knocks that we seen back in 2019, which was
yeah,
absolutely brilliant there? Steve Smith, Ben Stokes one side. That was an incredible Ashes there. So I think it is going to be his day, and probably
yeah,
this year for him as well, because
yeah,
Sheldon, the last few years have not been nice for him. He's been
yeah.
out of the runs. Even in India also, he didn't do pretty much,
True. Yeah,
So this looks like a real good chance for him, like, to get back into those runs there again. But Sheldon, one more important question that I wanted to ask. Nathan Lyon, they're picking up a wicket towards the end. Do you think that's going to play on India's mind there, that they didn't pick Ashwin and now Nathan Lyon comes up 2 overs into his spell and he picks up a wicket?
oh yeah, Dil. I mean, for that to spin, right at the end of the day as well, to get out the spinner that India picked as well, Jadeja. I mean, that will rub salt into the wounds. But I think also India won't look too much at that. I mean, you can't control it now. You selected the team before the first day. If a ball spins, you can't do anything now. India selected their best team they thought at the start, and I think you hindsight is a wonderful thing. You can do a lot of things after the events, right? But I think like that won't affect India much. But yeah, I think what India will be hoping is that Lion doesn't take 5 wickets tomorrow, and it's absolutely ripping up, and
That's
suddenly you'll
bad.
see
That will
Nagpur
do their
tomorrow.
confidence like really, really bad.
Yeah, but yeah, should be interesting. Though, what do you think about India's chances though tomorrow going into the day? They need a near perfect day to get back into the game, right? Though?
Exactly, Sheldon. They need to win every hour,
Yeah, every,
or
for
the
sure.
morning one, the afternoon session, and the evening one as well. They have to be
Yeah,
on top of the game there, and India would have to bat out the entire day. But with
yeah,
5 wickets down, Sheldon, I don't see that happening there. Rahane has to stand there till the end. I think he has to get a big one if he has to ensure that India can win at least one of those days there. But I think it's looking
yeah.
tough, Sheldon. Anything for you? What do you think that India need to do? Because the Australians know that they're just 1 wicket away. If they get Rahane out, I think it's game over, right?
Yeah, Dylan. It's so interesting seeing Australia when they get on top. They're such a hard team to, get back on top of because once they smell blood, they just, keep on coming at you. You saw when they got Sharma out early as well. Then they got many quick wickets. You just feel like Australia is such a tough team to come back against. Yeah, it should be interesting, but India shouldn't give up hope. Like India have beaten Australia a couple of times in miracle games like Sydney and the Gabba. And Australia did lose a game in Headingley in a similar situation. So, like, India shouldn't give up hope completely. I think Australia will fancy their chances, though, as of now.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna. India can't lose hope at this stage. They have to keep it going. They have to keep the intensity and just keep going, I feel. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing it to you. But do stay tuned for tomorrow. It's an interesting day. The match is balanced, but more in favor of Australia there because they're just 1 wicket away. They sniff victory there, one more wicket, and then I think that's going to hurt India's chances of winning this all-important World Test Championship final. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll catch you soon in the next video. Bye.